Advisors who do have a strategic marketing plan in place are achieving, on average, 168% more leads generated each month. They are onboarding 50% more clients each year. They are 42% more likely to convert social media leads. And they are 34% more confident in their business growth. Welcome to Daily Discovery Calls for Financial Advisors, the first and only show dedicated exclusively to helping entrepreneurial, growth-driven financial advisors book more discovery calls with qualified prospects every day of the week. I'm your host, Roy Furr, the Advisor CMO. Let's get into it. What's up? Roy Furr here at the Advisor CMO, and we are back with the next episode of Daily Discovery Calls for Financial Advisors, the podcast that's dedicated to helping you generate more leads and have better results from your marketing as a financial advisor. Today, we're going to be talking about financial advisor marketing plans, coming up with a strategic marketing plan that's going to help stimulate growth within your financial advisory. I'm going to be giving you a checklist of what to include and why. I'm going to break down the different elements within an effective marketing plan. In this episode, I'm going to start with the answer to, could a strategic marketing plan help you generate 168% more leads each month, right? 168% more leads each month with a strategic marketing plan. The 9 marketing plan essentials for financial advisors, what you need to make sure that you include. 3 more clarity items for uncovering breakthroughs that will help you grow, add to your assets under management, add to your revenue as a financial advisor, and a recommendation for you for creating your strategic marketing plan. So with that, let's talk about why you need a marketing plan. This comes from the Financial Advisor Marketing Trends Report for 2024 from Broadridge. And what they found was that, number one, 70% of financial advisors do not have a strategic marketing plan in place. They haven't invested the time, effort, energy, and financial resources towards building a strategic marketing plan. Only 30% have. And by the way, you're in the business of building plans for clients, right? You wouldn't let your client go into retirement without a strategic financial plan to help them succeed in retirement. And yet, here we have 70% of financial advisors going into marketing without a strategic marketing plan. But those who do, and this is correlation, not causation, right? So this is just going through the marketing planning process does not guarantee these results. But among those advisors who do have a strategic marketing plan in place, who've gone through that process, they are achieving, on average, 168% more leads generated each month. They are onboarding 50% more clients each year. They are 42% more likely to convert social media leads. So somebody comes in via social media, 42% more likely to convert them. And they are 34% more confident in their business growth. This is what the Broadridge Financial Advisor Marketing Trends Report said, that basically the people who, well, let's just say planners are getting better results. The financial advisors who are going through this planning process for their marketing are getting better results. And, there are similar stats. I don't have them in my notes here, but there are similar stats for your clients approaching entering retirement with a retirement plan, with a financial plan for their retirement. In general, planners are enjoying better results. And so, there's really honestly no reason not to approach marketing with a comprehensive strategic plan as opposed to piecemeal or just, whatever you feel like doing this week. Now, giving credit where credit is due here before we dive into the items. I have a 20-year plus history in marketing. I have a million influences, but when I specifically think about the marketing planning process that I go through, I have to give a ton of credit to Dan Kennedy and Jay Abraham, who have both helped financial advisors generate better marketing results. For the kind of strategic thinking, both of them I credit as influences and mentors in the kind of strategic thinking that is required, not just to develop a marketing campaign, but to create complete business breakthroughs through marketing and sales processes and strategic marketing planning. I have to give a lot of credit to Alan Dibb, whose one-page marketing plan serves as a framework for a lot of this content. And, I think Alan counts a lot of the same people as inspiration and influences as I do. And he and I have had conversations in the past. His one-page marketing plan book is a highly effective way to structure your thinking around marketing planning. And so if you know that work, you'll notice some influences here. Also, in terms of my own experience helping clients do marketing planning, I give credit to Casey Stanton of CMOX, who works with fractional CMOs to install processes within their business and the marketing planning process. It's something that I did before, but it was refined by my work with CMOX. And honestly, my experience here. In the past with clients, I helped generate thousands of leads, over $2 billion in annual production, and 30% plus year over year growth for some of our most successful clients. And so, of course, I'm going to draw from that as I talk about what needs to be in your marketing plan. So, all that said, up to this point, let's dive into the marketing plan checklist, what to include and why, if you're a financial advisor looking to create a strategic marketing plan. So the 9 essential items for your financial advisor marketing plan here are, well, let's start with number 1, your ideal client. Your marketing plan should be crystal clear about who your ideal client is, who you can serve, who you want to serve, who your business, your processes are built for, who your operations are structured for. So if you serve people in your local area who are going through that retirement transition, they are currently age 55 to 70, they have $500,000 in assets in their qualified retirement accounts, and they don't yet have a clear plan for how they are going to make the most of that money, make it last, and be able to maintain their current lifestyle or their desired lifestyle throughout retirement. Maybe that's your focus. Maybe your focus is something completely different. Maybe it's women entrepreneurs who've built a business to 7 figures in revenue or more, who are looking for ways to turn the value of their business into personal wealth that will endure. I don't know. I don't know who your ideal client is, right? But if I'm sitting down with you to create this marketing plan, then I want to know, and you need to know who your ideal client is, because the better you can speak to them as an individual, like that one person who is the perfect ideal client for you, the more likely they are, as soon as they encounter whatever your marketing message is in whatever media, the more likely they are to say, this person is for me. They've built their financial advisory to help people like me achieve what I want to achieve. And the more clarity that you have around your ideal client, then the more likely you are to achieve that. And all of your marketing needs to be built to speak to that person. Next up, number 2, your compelling message or unique value proposition. Like this is how you tell that person, that specific person, about the value that you are able to provide. And this is something that's going to show up in how your advisors talk to clients. It's something that's going to show up in your marketing messages. It's something that ideally your clients understand and are able to verbalize when they talk about you. So why is it, borrowing from Dan Kennedy here, why is it that, or why should I, your ideal client, choose to do business with you over every other option available to me, including, for example, going with a different financial services firm, doing maybe a discount brokerage and managing my money that way, and going through kind of piecemeal do-it-yourself financial planning, or just maybe doing nothing at all with my finances for today, just letting whatever I've been doing be enough. So why should I, your perfect client, choose to do business with you? That's what your compelling message, your unique value proposition needs to encapsulate. All right, number 3 is your marketing media. This is the third item on our checklist for your financial advisor marketing plan. What media are you using to reach out to clients? Now, there's basically an infinite choice here, but we can narrow it down. There's digital advertising. So are you using video-based, text-based, image-based digital advertising? On what platforms are you using? Meta? Are you using Google? Are you using a third-party platform? Are you doing retargeting? Are you, or are you doing maybe offline broadcast media? Are you doing TV and radio? Are you doing direct mail? I would argue that doing classes, seminars, workshops, dinner seminars are all a type of marketing media because it is one-to-many marketing. It's one-to-many messaging until you're actually getting into the appointments, the one-on-one conversations, or one advisor to one household conversations. The marketing media is all the different ways that you are communicating with people. And any kind of, I would argue, also outbound selling, outbound lead generation. We're going to talk about centers of influence and referrals later. So I'm not including that in the marketing media here, but part of your marketing media does need to be your conversion systems, your education-based marketing, the different places that you are putting your messaging in front of your audience in order to move them towards that act of raising their hand and saying, hey, I'm interested in speaking with you. I'd like to have a conversation. Let's book a discovery call, right? Let's have that conversation. Let's dive into looking at what a client relationship might look like. And so your marketing plan needs to acknowledge what are all those different potential traffic sources. I talked a lot about paid media here. We should also talk about organic media, search engine optimization, and how you're doing that through different content that you may place on your website or off your website on different platforms where it's going to be seen. So, blog posts, YouTube videos would count as that, podcasts potentially count as that. All of this different type of organic content marketing, which, I'm using organic in the marketing sense here of content that you're putting out there that is meant to drive unpaid, that's meant to drive earned traffic as opposed to purchased traffic. So what are all the marketing media that you're using to go out there and communicate to your potential ideal client, right? Number 4, next up, your lead capture system. This is arguably my point of greatest strength and what I'm able to do better than the vast majority of people that I have worked with and marketers. I'm not saying I'm the best in the world at this, but this is something that is a unique strength of mine, is identifying specific, for example, lead generation funnels or specific processes, systems that are designed to convert someone from, okay, they're paying attention to the marketing into, okay, they're raising their hand, they're giving you their information, they're giving you permission to follow up with them. Maybe they are actually booking the call, booking the appointment, booking that first conversation with you. And they actually move from this place of being out there in the world, experiencing your marketing, to being inside your universe where you are having future conversations with them, future communication with them. And so what is that system that moves them from a stranger experiencing your messaging to somebody who is known within your universe, who you're able to communicate with then on an ongoing basis in the future? Your nurture marketing, that's number 5 on this list of essential items for your financial advisor marketing plan. Your nurture marketing is the specific marketing that you're doing once someone becomes a lead and until they become a client, or, until they tell you to stop communicating with them. And this is specifically the more scalable marketing. So things like email marketing, things like campaigns that you send out specifically to your database, where it may be a webinar campaign, it may be a video to appointment funnel that you're actually sharing that video with your database. It may be free reports, guides that you put out that are designed to get people to raise their hand and to engage again with your marketing. It may be direct mail campaigns offering an appointment to people who have responded to your advertising, your marketing in the past. It may be, any kind of campaign that instead of being directed at the broad audience of strangers who may be a fit for your service, it's instead directed at the people who have previously expressed interest in your services. And honestly, this is like a huge untapped opportunity for so many financial advisors because, well, for example, I worked with one advisor who said that 2/3 of their business in each calendar year, and this spans back multiple years, 2/3 of their business in any calendar year was actually from leads who first entered their system in prior calendar years. So somebody became a lead, somebody first engaged, somebody first responded to their marketing, their advertising in prior calendar years. This year they became a client. Well, 2/3 of this year's production, this year's new clients, was from people who are described in that way. And that is a result of nurture marketing. That is a result of ongoing marketing to the same audience of people who have previously expressed interest. And the great thing about that is that ongoing marketing is relatively dirt cheap compared to cold advertising, where you're going out and putting your message in front of an audience who doesn't know you at all. Being able to continually send emails to those people, the incremental cost of marketing to new people in that way is so cheap. Being able to direct those people to video content that you've put online, to getting those people to raise their hand for conversation with your advisors, for a discovery call, being able to direct those people back into your system, back into your lead capture system, so they raise their hand again and they say, I may not have been ready before, but I'm ready now. That can be a highly effective and highly profitable way of dramatically increasing the clients and the production this year within your business. Is those people who you may have thought of as dead leads or as, leads that were just never going to convert. Well, nurture marketing is the secret to getting them to convert. Your sales conversion process. This is, number 6 out of the 9 essential items for your financial advisor marketing plan. Your sales conversion process is, I talk about the core conversion process: capture, orient, recommend, engage. And so capture is actually getting them to raise their hand and say, hey, I want to have a discovery call with you. Orient is my approach to the discovery calls. I think of it like the nurse who comes in before the doctor when you visit the doctor's office, and the nurse takes your vitals. They ask you questions about why you're there. They're just trying to gather just enough information so the doctor is walking into the room prepared to have their conversation, their diagnostic and prescriptive conversation with you. The recommend step of the sales conversion process is typically a 2-appointment close, depending on what your offer is. Sometimes it's a 1-appointment close, where after that orient conversation, that initial discovery call, the recommendation step is for qualified leads, for people who are qualified prospects, potentially great clients for your firm. The recommend step is where you actually take their interest and you take their information and you translate that into, okay, well, if that's where you're at now and that's what you want to achieve, here is the gap between where you're at now and what you want to achieve. And here's how our process helps you bridge that gap. And so that's the recommendation portion. Okay, you said where you're at, you said where you want to go, what you want to achieve. Here's how our process that we're recommending for you is going to help you achieve that goal. And the way you get started is XYZ. So being crystal clear about that in your marketing plan, and that's something that I influence with clients, even though I am, I'm a marketing guy, but that sales conversion process all the way up to the point, I'm not going to tell you how to do the financial advisory part of your business, but if I'm working with you on a marketing plan, I may have some very strong recommendations about the sales conversion process, and specifically about process-based selling, where your advisors, where your team all knows the same process to follow, and as much as possible is following the standardized process. It's been designed to get a standardized result that's been optimized, that's been improved, and that is deeply trained within your entire team so that you are getting consistent results across the team. You don't want advisors winging it and one of them is producing a 10th because they just don't follow the same process. And so the most effective advisory teams are going to, whether it's my process or your own, they're going to say, this is the most effective process that we're able to identify for converting qualified leads, qualified prospects into clients. And here's how we're going to roll that out across the entire team. Which brings us to number 7, your unique process. And this is primarily focused on onboarding. This is someone says, okay, I'm ready. I want to move forward with you. How do you walk them through a specific process? And this is all going to tie back, right? Because the unique process is going to influence who your ideal client is. It's going to be built for your ideal client. It's going to influence your unique value proposition, your compelling message, right? And so this unique process, specifically the onboarding, how you're actually walking a new client through essentially the process that it's going to take to move them from this place where they need help to they've gotten help, right? Your unique process needs to be clearly defined within your marketing plan, because that's going to influence how you present everything in your marketing. Your client retention strategy, that's number 8 of the 9 essential items for your financial advisor marketing plan. What are you doing to continue to communicate with, to provide value to increase the quality of the relationship, increase the results that the client is getting, such that they are never going to question whether they should move to a different financial advisor, right? And arguably, you should also be considering this on a generational basis. So not just how are you retaining the client, but how are you retaining the family wealth through into the next generation? So identifying your client retention strategy, most often, honestly, this is going to come down to communication, a lot of clear communication about the value that you're able to provide, how you're able to provide that value, and thinking about things like, what are we going to do for your estate, and how are we going to ensure that not just you, but the next generation is prepared to manage this wealth and to make the most of this wealth going forward and protect this wealth and grow this wealth, right? And then the last item on the list here is your referral and centers of influence strategy. Now, these are arguably a little bit different because the referrals are primarily coming from clients, and centers of influence, you could almost think of it as an additional marketing media. Again, it's a different place that you are reaching out, that you are bringing people in the door. But most often, these are worth defining in a similar way, because what it is people who know, like, trust you, who perhaps revere you for being a high quality financial advisor, providing these high quality services. How do you help them know who your ideal client is and what message they need to share with them and where they need to direct them to avail themselves of the value that you're able to provide? And so having that strategy as part of your advisor marketing plan, again, it's all, these are the 9 things: your ideal client, your compelling message and unique value proposition, your marketing media, your lead capture system, your nurture marketing approach, your sales conversion process, your unique process and onboarding, including onboarding, your client retention, your referral and centers of influence strategy. And your marketing plan should cover these 9 items in order for it to be comprehensive. And of course, if you go through this and you get very specific about what you're doing now on each of these, which is, if I'm sitting down with a client, if I'm helping them develop a strategic marketing plan, the first thing that I want to do is gather as much information about where they are now with these. Forget later. Where are you right now with this? And what I'm looking for is gaps, right? Because the marketing plan that you create now to represent what you've been doing up until this point then gets augmented with specific strategies, projects, action items, campaigns, funnels that need to be launched, conversion systems that need to be created, et cetera, that get added on as what need to happen in the next 30, 60, 90, 180 days in order to increase and improve your overall marketing results. So you're going to have goals for what you want to achieve with your marketing plan. Well, the first thing you do is you look at everything that you're doing now and what might be missing there. And then you look forward at what needs to be done in order to close those gaps and to achieve what you want to achieve. Now, I did also promise 3 additional items that can really create breakthroughs, honestly, that can be even bigger breakthroughs because they're almost at a more foundational level for how the business operates. And yet they are also super relevant in the marketing planning process. So if I'm working with a new client, these are among the first things I ask. And then we get into the 9 things previously. So I also want clarity on your current numbers. And so these are things like, what's your current AUM or AUA, right? What is your current business size? How many current client households are you working with? I want to look at a lot of numbers over the last 12 months to help me get a sense of where you are up until this point. So what's your production over the last 12 months? What's your 12-month new client number? Like, how many new clients have you brought in the last 12 months? What is the revenue from those new clients that have come in the last 12 months? And what is the marketing spend that you've had in the last 12 months that has contributed to the production of new clients and new client revenue? And for marketing spend specifically, I'm looking at things including both hard and soft costs. So not just the advertising media that you've paid for, but are your advisors doing the majority of prospecting? Your marketing budget might be a lot larger than you think if you consider that your producing advisors are spending half their time or 75% of their time chasing down new clients, as opposed to having those essentially delivered to them by effective marketing processes. And so if you can shift some of those, this isn't true in all cases, but in some cases, if you can shift some of those soft costs to hard costs, your business is actually able to handle a much larger client volume with the same size advisory team. And the marketing can do the work of getting people engaged, doing the lead generation in the first place. When you have the marketing spend, including hard and soft costs, compared to the new client revenue, you're actually able to calculate your marketing efficiency ratio. So, for example, if you're like the average advisor, you're spending $1 this year to get 60 cents in new client revenue within the year. And so you're actually in the hole. This is the average financial advisor. I think this was based on a Kitsy's report, a study. The average financial advisor is going in the hole by, 40% on their marketing budget in the first year. But, the numbers in financial services are so good that that's going to get made up in the second year. And that client is just going to continue to add revenue and profit to the business. The advisors that are truly able to scale, their marketing efficiency ratio is over 1 or can even be multiples of 1. So $1 brought in today, or $1 spent today on marketing is going to generate more than $1 within the first year with the client. And the advisors that really scale the fastest are the ones that are able to compress that down. And we'll talk about how in just a second, that are able to compress that down to something like spending $1 today and having it bring back at least $1 in the next 30, 60 days. And so you're looking at something like a 90-day marketing efficiency ratio or a 60-day marketing efficiency ratio instead of a 12-month marketing efficiency ratio. Being clear on your cost to acquire a client, we can calculate a lot of these numbers from the stuff that we've already asked for. So how much did you spend to acquire how many clients? And especially when you include hard and soft costs, what is the average cost to acquire the client? It's also good to know what is the target cost to acquire a client and what is the max allowable cost to acquire a client. So one advisor that I worked with had a number just north of $5,000 that, hey, as long as we are spending less than $5,000 to acquire a client through this particular media channel, it's gravy. Let's just keep pouring money into it. They had a maximum allowable cost to acquire a client higher than that allowed them to go into different, more expensive media options to further build out their presence in the marketplace. But being clear about these numbers, both what they are now and what you want them to be for new marketing testing, is essential. And your current growth trajectory. We can just look at, where are you now versus 12 months ago, and help us understand how the current marketing plan needs to perform in order to raise that growth trajectory, to speed up the growth, or at the very least to maintain it if it's already good growth. And then how do you get paid? I don't have a lot of notes specifically under this, but this is relevant to, the last, I dove in deep on this in the last episode. But specifically looking at your money model, looking at where the money is coming from. So is it coming only from a percentage of AUM paid out quarterly? Is it coming from a percentage of AUM paid out quarterly plus fees? Is it coming from commission on different financial product sales? You may decide that one of those is right or wrong, but it is going to influence how you are going to be able to invest in marketing. And so, for example, if you're getting a large chunk of revenue within the first 30, 60 days of starting a client relationship, and you're able to then recycle that money faster, recycle that marketing budget faster, because instead of having a 1-year return of capital on your marketing investment, you're having a 60-day return of capital on your marketing investment, then you're essentially able to spend the same dollar 6 times over in a year. And it gives you a lot of power to continue to invest in marketing and to scale your business. One last thing that I also want clarity on as I'm talking to a new client is your team and resources. So who are the stakeholders? Who are the decision makers within the business? Who are the people in marketing, in sales? And that can be your producing advisors, but it can also be things like appointment setters who are handling some of the initial contact with clients. Who's your tech? Who's your operations? What are their capabilities? What's their capacity? Are you currently demand constrained? Meaning you're only constrained by the number of leads coming in the door? Are you supply constrained? Meaning your team either needs to be bigger or more effective, more efficient, in order for you to be able to grow. I want to know what the capacity is. And then specifically, if we're going to be talking about launching new marketing programs, what are the capabilities and capacity that are going to support that? And so if you need to fill in some gap on your staff in order to, or not necessarily just internal, but external marketing partners, what is going to be necessary in order for you to achieve that growth? And so, what are the talent gaps that are needed, whether it's number of people or specific capabilities, in order for your team to be able to execute on the marketing plan. So, with that, it turns out this is a little bit of a quicker episode than some of my recent ones. But I want to ask, do you have a strategic marketing plan? If you look back at the Broadridge stats of 168% more leads per month and 50% more clients onboarded per year with a strategic marketing plan, are you one of those planners? I've said a few times in a few places, if your clients need a plan, so do you. You may help them with financial plan. You need a marketing plan. And if you don't have this level of marketing plan, why not? Why haven't you done it yet? Have you just not had the right list of things that you need to have on it? In that case, maybe this is all you need. Do you not have the right thinking in place or strategy, or have you not carved out the time? Do you not have a third-party perspective that's able to come in and ask the obvious questions to somebody who's taking a fresh look at your business as opposed to somebody who is in your business every day, right? Have you not gone through whatever process is required to create the marketing plan, and why not? I do offer this as a service. In fact, all new client relationships do start with this paid consulting process called the Strategic Breakthroughs process. And if you want to learn more about that, go to TheAdvisorCMO.com/strategy. I can walk you through this planning process. Again, that's TheAdvisorCMO.com/strategy to learn how I may be able to help you create a strategic marketing plan for your financial advisory. And, at the very least, I highly recommend you go through this process just like you would insist on a client go through the financial planning process if they want to be able to successfully enter and maintain their lifestyle through retirement. So wrapping up, don't forget to subscribe. If you got value out of this, don't forget to subscribe yourself. Maybe share it with a friend who would also get value from it. You can find me on LinkedIn. I'm at Roy Furr. That's ROYFURR. Or you can find the Advisor CMO there. And again, if you want to learn more about the strategic breakthroughs process, that's at TheAdvisorCMO.com/strategy. With that, I'll see you in the next episode, and we'll have even more value for you to help you book more discovery calls on your calendar every single day with qualified leads. And I will see you then. Thanks for tuning into this episode of Daily Discovery Calls for Financial Advisors. If you got value from this episode, I'd absolutely love it if you do me the favor of sharing it with one other person who you think would also find it valuable. It's how the show can grow and how I can keep bringing this value to you. And if you want to learn more about how you can book more discovery calls with your ideal clients, go to TheAdvisorCMO.com/podcast.